the Blake shooting, and Pete Carroll spoke about the possibility of players taking a similar stand of those in the NBA and deciding not to take the field during the season.
Anything's possible. I mentioned to the players, this is the year, it's the protest season, you know. It's a season of protest, and so we'll handle ourselves as we do, and but this is a protest that doesn't have an end to it until all the problems go away and we solve the issues and stuff. So we're going to do our part and continue to work to stay actively involved and continue to stay in touch with the situations that are going on by staying on the topics and with it, just in hopes that we can be there to help and support where we can and have influence where we can.
Matt LaFleur also spoke today. He said, I don't know what our players have gone through. I'm a white guy that hasn't gone through certain situations. I'm going to do whatever I can in my power to support equal rights. The Packers were one of the teams that canceled practice today. I do think, especially reacting to Roger Goodell and his interview with Emmanuel Acho on Uncomfortable Conversations with the Black Man, he spoke about he's not going to punish players for kneeling and, he's open to more conversations. I agree with you. The NFL is a completely different power structure and culture than the NBA, simply based off the fact that it's a different sport. There's less players. The contracts are different. The CBA is different. The money is different. Yeah. The value of one particular star versus a star in the NFL is not the same because of the amount of players on the court and the influence that they have on the organizations and season ticket sales. You go on and on. So you can't really draw perfect parallels to how...
Well, think about this, Joe. I was just thinking about this. Think about the influence NBA players have in communities selling shoes.
Right.
They have influence in culture and fashion. I don't even know what shoe Tom Brady wears. I can tell you.
I think he endorsed Uggs for a while.
But I mean, NBA players simply have more influence in their communities than NFL players do.
Well, I think that the brands of, certain players in certain communities can sometimes be bigger than the NBA, and just that the NFL is a bigger brand altogether and a bigger sport. But as far as, kneeling and protesting in these conversations, it's like what I said at the beginning of the show. We've been talking about this all year. This is a year of change. And if you're not a flexible person, this is not the year for you. It's going to be a long, long rest of 2020 and moving forward because everyone has a voice now. People all have a platform. They're complaining about people using their platform to speak on a platform, which make sense. But regardless, this is going to continue into the NFL season. Like if you're thinking that this is just going to stop just because this is the culture of the NBA, it's not. It is not going to stop this year. This is an election year. There's a lot going on in the world. This is going to be a conversation.
We have a pandemic and the most polarizing political figure in my life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff coming.
So much more. Yeah. It's like Pete Carroll said, this conversation isn't going to be over until the problems are fixed. So just buckle in and get used to it. So after the Jets scrimmage on Wednesday, Adam Gase said Le'Veon Bell spent more time on the sidelines as a precaution due to hamstring tightness. Le'Veon did not agree with his coach's decision to keep him out. He tweeted, "Ain't nothing wrong with my hamstrings," followed by, "It's tough to stay loose when you do a bunch of standing around, and I'm used to going." Then in response to a fan who pointed out it was only practice, Le'Veon said, "Exactly, I practice for a game. I need to practice to be great in games."
Le'Veon, I had him on a show one time. He gets bunched in with the Steelers.
Right.
Like he gets bunched in with Big Ben, who can be dramatic, and AB. I don't get the pushback on Le'Veon Bell. I think he's funny on social media. He's always said, it's a business. I play and practice. I think he's gotten bunched in to some of the dysfunction with the Steelers. I think he's so pro football, so play. I want to play. All he ever says is, let me work harder and get more snaps.
And he's been great despite, being involved in trade conversations.
He never has a problem with it. He's like, hey, it's a business.
It just started, I think his rep maybe took a hit because of the exit from the Steelers and him wanting money.
Well, the whole thing with the Steelers was just a big circus for a year.
And I thought he was in the best situation with the Steelers.
Yeah, he was.
But it's his career and he should do what he wants with it. To me, the bigger takeaway from this is my God, Adam Gase, can you get on the same page with one star, please?
They only got 3.
I mean, it's just what? This should not be happening. Like, Le'Veon is, like you said, he's a hardworking guy.
He's a great player.
He's a great player.
He's a great receiver, not just a back.
I just don't understand the communication breakdown.
And I don't think, to me, I could get Jamal Adams was a little feisty. Le'Veon Bell.
Everybody can't be feisty, okay? There's just not that many feisty people.
Right. Le'Veon Bell's not feisty. Whenever there's a controversy, he's like, dude, I just want to play. Literally, he's been in trade rumors since he got to New York, and his response has always been, hey, man, it's a business. Do whatever. I'll go wherever you want me to play, which is the perfect response. Like, you tell me what you want, and I'll go.
I don't get it. Finally, LaMelo Ball has not been drafted yet, but he's already got his shoe deal lined up. LaMelo will reportedly be signing an endorsement deal with Puma. This would make him the first Ball brother not to sign with Big Baller Brands. But bigger takeaway from this is he has not been drafted yet, and he already has a shoe deal. It's not surprising to me. I've kind of been on the LaMelo Ball hype train for a while since I saw him play at a JBA game out here in California, where he was extremely raw, but already had unbelievable skill and an it factor. He's played aside from the JBA, he played in Lithuania in 2017 and then played in Australia in 2019.
His highlights here for our radio listeners. His highlights are really good.
I mean, this is the conversation that we were having about Luka, right? Luka played in Europe from 2015 to 2018. He started when he was 16 years old, same as Melo. Melo's 19 years old. And, he won an MVP and, was obviously excelled there, was EuroLeague all-decade team. But this is something. Like, the Melo has been playing against professional players for the last 2 years, 3 years. That's going to be a factor for him. The question with LaMelo is he going to play defense? And is he going? He's a scorer, but is he going to be able to shoot? Yeah, that's just a development thing about where he's going to go. If the star factor is already there.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is if he plays on a team with a rim protector and somebody gets past him, listen. It's not like James Harden played a lot of D his first 7 years in the league.
The defense thing is overblown anyway. There's lots of players in the league that we do not hold responsible for the
even the great defensive players, LeBron, weren't great early and are not great late.
And for rookies, like if you're a great defensive player as a rookie, that's going against NBA players. Like, that's
Ben Simmons staggering. Is the exception.
Right. Like, you should not be expected to be a great defensive player going into the NBA your rookie season. But I really think whoever gets LaMelo is getting a star.